What's up guys, hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to another Premiere Pro tutorial. Now in this video we will look at the two other tabs that we have in Essential Sound panel, and these are the SFX and Ambience tabs. Now basically both these tabs are not too different from each other, but they both address two different effects. Let's first listen to the sound effect I have on my timeline, and then we can go over to the SFX tab and see what effects do we have in there. Okay, so now that we've listened to our sound effect, let's go over to the SFX section and explore that. So in the SFX section, we have four different tabs. We have loudness, we have creative, pen tab, and then the clip volume. So the loudness is basically going to adjust the overall loudness of your clip. All you have to do is select your clip and then click on this auto match, and it will just automatically align and adjust the loudness of your clip. Then we have the creative tab, and we also have a reverb effect in it with four different presets. Now you can go through these presets one by one and apply on your sound effect, and then go ahead with the one that is more suited to your sound effect. We also have the pen tab over here, and the pen effect basically gives you the ability to switch between the two audio channels. So let me now just drag the slider towards my left and see how it's going to affect my clip. Okay, so guys, as you could see that my left channel was playing, but the right one was just dead, and that is because I dragged the slider completely towards my left side. So once again, the pen effect basically gives you the ability to switch between the two audio channels, either left or right. Now the next one we have here is the clip volume, and again, you have the option to increase or decrease the clip volume over here by dragging the slider on either sides. You also have the mute button at the bottom. If you tick this box, you are basically just muting your clip. If you untick, then you are just unmuting your clip. So really straightforward guys, and majority of this stuff we've already discussed in the previous tutorial. So if you haven't watched my previous videos in the audio section, I would really recommend you to go and watch those, because you are going to get a really good understanding on the audio effects. Now the next one we have here is the ambience. So ambience is basically when you want to give an effect of a certain atmosphere, mainly nature, like birds chirping or the sound of a river flowing or leaves blowing, or anything like that. Now I have this ambience effect on my timeline. Let's first listen to this effect, and then we can go over to the ambience tab and see what effects do we have in there. Okay, so we have listened to our ambience effect. Let's go over to the ambience tab and see what effects do we have in there. So we have the loudness, and by now I'm sure that I don't need to explain this anymore, because it's just going to adjust the overall loudness of your sound effect or your ambience effect. Then we have the reverb effect under the creative tab with different presets, giving us the ability to make a selection from any of these presets and then apply on our ambience effect. We then have the stereo width, which again is pretty self-explanatory. You can use the slider, go right and left, and it's going to just increase or decrease the stereo width. We then have this ducking effect that we have never really come across before. So we also have these different options under this effect. So we've got this dialogue, music, we've got sound effect, ambience, and we've got these unassigned as well. Now all of these options are basically giving you the ability to choose as to what do you want the ambience to duck against. So if I select the first one, which is the dialogue, then I'm basically telling Premiere to lower the volume of my ambience effect whenever there's a dialogue in my timeline. Now before moving on to these sliders, I just want to quickly show you guys how would Premiere recognize which clip is music or which one is dialogue or SFX or the ambience. So if you remember that when we first go into the Essential Sound panel, the first thing that we do is we assign an audio type to our clips. Now let me just select this clip over here on my timeline, and now I'm going to go into my Essential Sound, and this is the first thing that I'm looking at. So if I select dialogue over here, Premiere is going to know that this clip is a dialogue. So we are basically tagging our clips So we are basically giving our clips, assigning our clips in audio type. So, and that's how Premiere is going to know about the audio type. So now under the ducking effect, we have these three sliders. The first one is sensitivity, which basically means that how quickly you want the volume of your ambience to drop when the dialogue starts or when the music starts, whatever you selected up there. And then we have the duck amount, which is how much are you dropping the ambience by against the dialogue. And then the last one we have here is the fade time. And fade time is effectively that once it drops the audio, how long does it take to drop it down, and then how long before it recovers. So it depends on you basically how you want it. So if you want it to happen really fast or you want a gradual fade, you can set the slider point accordingly. So once you've made these adjustments, then you just need to click on this button and tell Premiere to generate keyframes based on the changes that you've made above. Now let's play our clip again and observe the difference. Because you're going to notice that when I start talking, my ambience volume, it goes down. And when I stop talking, it goes back up again. Okay, so guys, as you could see that our ambience effect was ducking against our dialogue. Now this means that whenever I started talking in my timeline, the ambience effect, the volume of it went down, and whenever I stopped talking, the volume went back up again. So this is what the ducking is. Now obviously I know that it was a very short timeline, but even if you have a really long timeline with multiple clips in it, the method will still be the same. Now it's super easy, it saves you a lot of time, because otherwise you would have to go in and manually create these keyframes, which obviously was going to take you a lot more time. Now that's all in the ducking section, guys. The final tab we have is the volume, and once again it's just there so you can adjust the volume of your clip, and you can drag, you can use the slider towards the right and left, and it's going to increase or decrease the volume. So guys, that's really it in the ambience tab. I hope you found this video useful. If you got any questions, feel free to drop those in the comment section, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm now going to see you in the next video. So till then, you take care of yourself.